handle the truth. You can't handle the truth. You are a me.
Simply Youth Ministry Podcast with Doug Fields and friends.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Game over, man.
What's your fight with you, bud? We're all here.
Right there.
We're back.
Hey, everybody.
Takes like 5 minutes to
The
line
Simply
up.
Youth Ministry Podcast has been off for a few weeks. We're back. Doug Fields with Matt McGill, Josh Griffin, and Jana.
First ever 1,000-minute podcast.
Welcome to the marathon.
Janta
Santa Claus. Santa Claus.
Oh, Jenna.
Jana's
Back from the birth room.
Yes.
How was the afterbirth?
That's a
All right, we'll start over.
Hey, we're back. Hey,
Don't you
everybody.
turn that into a pie or something and eat it?
Oh, no.
Some tribes do, I'm sure.
Oh,
No.
you know who
Jana,
did that.
welcome back. We've had a couple podcasts without you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you want to
No, for the focus. Thank you for the
I
focus.
think Neely did that, didn't she?
Stop.
Just kidding.
In total insider. Wow.
Jana, why don't you catch us up on
funny.
what's been going on? How old's your baby?
Santa Claus.
My baby, it will be 10 weeks tomorrow.
10 weeks. Has it been
That's
10
like
weeks
a
since you've been on the
thousand
show?
Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
How many shows have we had since Jana's been off, Andy?
Maybe 4.
Off? What, 83?
Andy, do you even care that we have a show anymore?
I love the show.
You do?
Yeah.
Look at me.
Andy seems kind of hard to schedule.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah. No lunch.
We had
and
all
hard to schedule.
all of us could be here today, which would be the first time in a long time. And
we didn't
Andy
have
and
it.
Andy sent an email and said we would prefer Thursday. Well,
So the audio can be better.
Dude, the audio will be brilliant.
The quality control.
so if
So you
had
don't
a
believe in
choice-
Nadeem?
If you had a choice between not having the whole crew here
Or audio.
Or good
or
audio,
audio,
those
what are
who
you
could.
choosing?
you guys are so fickle. This is
No,
ridiculous.
here's the
No,
deal.
I'm
Brazel
just
doesn't
answering my
care about
question.
I will
content.
take quality audio.
You'll take quality
I would
audio.
rather have quality
So
audio.
tomorrow we
Really?
could have had quality audio without Matt.
Yes.
Today we get Matt.
So that's really what it boils down to. Better audio.
Carrying the
is
show
better
still.
than Matt.
I don't know.
Wow. Well, but here we're doing the show right now with you.
No, I'm just
Well,
talking
you're
about
right.
what is deep within Brazel's heart.
That's true.
Darkness.
Pain.
You know what's deep within my heart?
Suffering.
I
What's
said
that?
let's do it.
Exactly.
Let's do it Wednesday. I don't
I
care
don't
about
doubt your heart.
That's love.
That's right. This episode
about it.
83.
You are a friend. One of
Jana
the friends.
has been on maternity leave. We get her out of bed
No,
every day.
I've not been on
It's a
maternity
very,
leave. Let's be
very-
honest.
How long was your
You
maternity
could
leave?
totally sue Saddleback.
I know. How long
Doug.
was your maternity leave?
About 4 days. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
totally
The
kidding.
Hebrew women went back to work that day.
That's true. Get back to making bricks.
No, it's been interesting.
Yeah,
you know?
next
But
week.
you've had more time off than normal.
No, she hasn't.
What?
Have you
No.
had more time off than
No, this
normal?
was
Is
a
10
short.
weeks
Wait, are you
normal?
being serious?
I'm asking.
No, the building that opened and.
What do you think that other guy was doing?
Yeah, I don't know.
Jana runs
We get-
Saddleback
we
Church,
get
Matt.
so
You might
defensive.
think you do.
About time off. We do.
I don't get
We?
defense. I'm supportive. Jana.
I know.
was-
No,
were
I'm
you
not
supposed to
saying
get
I don't
12 weeks
get
off?
time.
Or were you supposed to get off?
Well, 12 weeks. I'm not
Okay.
saying I
Well,
don't
you're at
get
10.
time off. I'm just
Yeah.
saying this was not the season
Yeah,
of time
this
off.
was not a great maternity leave, but we're gonna make up for
Yeah,
that.
I'm fine. I'm
Jana
not
and I
bitter.
already
Oh
had
yeah, and I'm not
talks.
saying she's a slacker.
I am bitter. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not bitter.
But
We opened a new building that Jana was
Yeah, whatever.
significant in
Yes.
opening. We have a student leadership conference next week, a PDYM student leadership
Oh.
conference that Jana is running.
oh, do I get to speak at some of the... Oh.
Oh, were you not invited back this
man.
year?
You guys
Yeah.
invited me?
Yeah,
Oh,
the sound. We're worried
man.
about sound quality at that. So we.
Yeah, sound quality.
Andy spoke into that a little bit.
Yeah. Hey Andy, what do you think about Matt?
Making decisions, guys.
You know what? When you're not in the trenches anymore like you guys are,
Yeah.
then you just can't invite us back.
Gosh, speaking of the trenches, so yesterday I'm sitting in a 7-hour budget meeting,
Oh my goodness.
and I'm taking one for the team on this one because Matt is
Ugh.
now part of this pastoral management team that him and the younger leaders of the church are now doing the future of the church. And
Mm-hmm.
I sat in as what did I sit in as
Elder.
an elder, an old guy, really old one of the
Yeah.
elders,
A wise
old
man.
yeah.
An old sage.
And I actually texted Matt at one point and said, "Come over and stab me in the neck with a fork so I can get out of this thing." And Matt didn't even answer the text. He was so focused.
Oh wow.
Matt was into.
No,
Matt was
well,
in his.
we
Matt was in
made-
his prime. He was in
Yeah,
his
that's
sweet
the
spot.
stuff
No,
Matt loves.
don't say. Oh, you guys
Yeah.
suck so
You
bad.
were made. You were
That
made for
is
that
not
role.
what I love.
You were made
No,
for
you
7-hour
serious-
budget
That
meetings.
is where you get you like that as far as thinking and challenging.
It's the
and-
exact same thing as doing a sports instructional video. It totally sucks. It totally sucks.
But the end result is something
But
beautiful.
the bigger picture is more important, and
Oh,
so
wow.
you got to sit in there and think about it because there's not other people in there sitting there
Yeah.
thinking about it. But we made an agreement, the team, that if you're in the room, you're fully present. So you don't answer emails, you don't do all that stuff, and so that's why.
Did that apply to me? Because I got a lot of emails.
Yeah,
from
no, the rules rarely apply to you.
But an elder, you can do whatever you
But
want.
you're like a
Well, and
walking.
You're like a
miracle.
wise
Why don't we?
Jedi.
Why don't we
Walking
talk about?
miracle.
Why don't we talk about your input? Why don't we talk about your input when I made a pitch for getting Jana a raise? Let's talk about that. Would you?
What did I say anything?
No, you didn't say anything. That was my point.
Oh, well, of course I didn't.
How come?
Well, because Jana and I are buddies, and the room was already very positive on that stuff. It didn't. I didn't think it would be. They would perceive it as being genuine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but everybody was for it, so there
No,
was
they
no
weren't.
reason for me to say anything. You got to be. I've learned one thing over the years is that you gotta pick
Were you
your
as subtle as a
battles,
dove
and you were. Yeah,
Wise as a
Stung
serpent.
like a caterpillar.
that's right. That's
Something.
right.
Sting like a bee.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, they were crazily excited about Jana.
Everybody in that room was. So
That's awesome.
That's very nice.
yeah. So are you trying
Which
to
is
paint a
good,
picture
considering you
that
had
I
a
was selling
10-week
her out?
vacation.
Is that what
That's
you're
really
saying?
nice.
What'd you say?
What'd you say?
Considering she's coming off a 10-week vacation, that's nice to hear.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, they wanted her back.
Yeah, like, all right, we'll lure her back in here. She's gone.
Hey,
Oh,
last
that's
time we
funny.
were together, which was episode 82,
Yes.
we brought in a box that I saw down in the mailroom downstairs. Mailroom.
Oh, the mailroom.
Yeah, I don't know. We have all these
Did you
rooms.
hear what was in the box?
No.
In
It
the
was a
mail
special
room.
box, Jennifer. It said
Oh.
from Michael W. Smith.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
So I brought it in, had
Mhm.
no idea what was in
Yeah.
it. I opened it in front of Josh. It was an iPod.
Oh, I about died.
And it was so awesome to see the king of freebies here.
Uh-huh. Wearing a free T-shirt.
Green
I was-
with jealous.
Yes.
Green with envy.
Is it envy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Jealousy
Green,
is more like
and
chartreuse.
it was a beautiful, brand new Nano.
Nice.
Nano.
Yeah.
That's
Little
crappy.
square one. The
Yeah.
A
square,
little square one
Yeah,
that's
from
like
Michael
real
W. Smith.
slick.
And do you remember what I said when you told me a couple days after that?
No.
I said, "Why is that guy sending out iPods? Didn't he just lose a child?"
Oh, Matt.
Oh,
Because
wow.
I confused him with.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Stephen Kerr's Chapman.
Yeah.
Yes, you can't say that.
Yeah, I just. Does that need to be cut from the show?
No, you weren't mean about it. You
No,
just
I was-
said,
yeah,
boy,
I wasn't
why is
making
he
a
get,
joke.
how
Odd
does he have time
timing.
to do that?
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
thought, why would a guy be promoting a new album when he's had this tragedy? Which I know I make lots of jokes. This was not a joking moment, but it is now. 'cause
Yeah, this is from
Clueless.
Patrick
That's
McDaniel. He says, I'm so
Joke
glad
on
you
me.
guys are back doing the
The joke is
podcast.
on
It was
me.
a long 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It is so hot in here.
You
'cause I'm
guys are
embarrassed?
great encouragement for me during the week. Thanks for you. It was cool to see you open the box from Michael W. Smith.
Oh, yes.
And even cooler to hear you guys talk about the guy who wrote the letter, Matt Markins, one of my good friends for years,
Oh,
and a
cool.
great
Oh.
boss for a couple. I don't know, for a couple of years or for a couple like husband and wife.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly
They're
sure.
weird-
I got
weird
on the
judge.
phone immediately to tell him that he, or C2 rather, was getting some great screen time.
Oh,
I
so
know
it
he
wasn't even W.
appreciates it.
Smith that sent it out.
No, it was Randall House
Hmm.
that sent it out with Michael W. Smith's name. Because if it would have said,
But Michael,
if it would have been a box and it would have said from Matt Markins, I
No
wouldn't have
one
been as
would have
excited to
Yeah.
bring it up
Yeah.
here.
But Michael
Not
W.
that- I'm
Smith
sure
did-
Matt's a great guy.
yeah, but I'm sure Michael W. Smith hand wrote on each box.
Well,
Yeah,
I just
that's
thought
a
he was at
given.
his house late at night packing them all in.
Hand me on their iPod, kids.
I know he
That's,
appreciates it. I know he knows how big of a deal it is to be mentioned on an award-winning podcast, which
Yes,
is actually
very big deal.
And who do you think tried to get a
When-
iPod out of the deal?
Josh.
Yeah, you got to listen to the
Surprise,
show.
surprise. It's a
So
pretty good,
you
pretty good
said
show.
send me one and I'll do.
So I just think that if the guy is smart, he'll send me one too.
So
What would
you
you
said
even
I
do
will
with
not
the
mention
iPod,
this
Nana?
on my blog until
I
you
will
send
not
it to
mention
me.
your little Michael WC2 thing.
Here's the deal, Matt. If you
Yeah.
don't send him one,
Me, Matt, or
no,
that
Matt
Matt?
Markins. If
Oh.
you don't send
Can you do
Josh
that,
one,
please?
but you send Jana and Matt McGill
Oh
one,
my goodness.
I will mention it
Oh.
every
that would
time
be
on
awesome.
the podcast for
Yeah.
the
And if-
next month.
And if Andy gets one too, I will actually
No, because
eat
Braids
an
will
iPod.
give it
I will
away.
blend it up and eat it in a shake.
I got an email from the guy 3 days later saying, "So I know we got the iPod. Did he watch anything?"
No, I watched
Why would
him.
he ask dumb questions?
I
Yeah, he
watched
sent it
him.
to me.
Actually, Jana, somebody sent you saying, "Am I going to endorse it?" And I wrote him back and said, "I'd like to see a whole one of the movies.
Yes.
They look
Jana?
really good.
Me
It's-
too,
It's
on
a small
my
group.
iPod.
No, I'm telling you, this would be a great bit if Jana could get an iPod and Matt could get
Oh,
one.
my
But the
goodness.
king
Great
of all
bit.
things free
And I would
does
watch
not
it
get
and give
one.
a real critique. I wouldn't just give a fluff. Oh, this was great.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
Josh would.
And Jana wouldn't have time because she's on vacation.
You're saying you didn't work a
Hurts.
little bit
Hurts
less
a little.
than you normally did?
No, I did.
Okay.
But
That's
not
what
for.
you've been working
there
is
was
odd
like,
Take a couple
hours.
weeks
That's what I was
off.
asking.
You've been working
You worked a
some odd
little bit
hours.
less than what you normally did.
Hey, she cranked out a third kid. We let her take a couple days break.
Hopped out of the building.
Then she was back hanging wallpaper in a building and running a student leadership conference.
yes.
Both of which
Hey, by
are
the way, I
incredible.
heard you put a bunch of nails into the wall without even really talking to
Yeah, but the amount of money that we spent talking about the nails in the wall.
I haven't heard this yet.
Is it the Global Souls wall?
Oh, we
Yeah.
have like
Shoes that are nailed into the wall?
Yeah, behind
we have
it, it's
some
like the Cray
conflict.
2000 computers behind it, and they almost ruined it.
no, but that's not the full story. This is a great
John.
perception is reality.
Oh,
thing.
I know. It's so
Seriously,
lame
because
how-
we asked 10 times.
Okay,
how
what do you mean? Let's set this up for
Yeah.
our listeners.
Yeah.
What do you mean perception is reality?
Like somebody heard this story and now it's
Perception is
gotten
fact in the eyes of the uninformed.
it's gone, crazy.
Hearsay has become
Yeah,
truth, and then
exactly.
exaggeration has become
and
truth.
it's been blown up like you almost ruined the whole electrical and the whole building, blah blah
Yeah.
blah blah. But we asked the contractor, the general contractor, how do you want us to apply these shoes to the wall? 5 times. How do you want us to do it? You tell us.
Was he
you
not
give
clear
us.
the first time?
No, just to double check. We're gonna. So this is this many shoes. Are you okay? Yes. Use this. Okay, this many shoes, this wall. Are you okay? Yes. And then one person
Can you
comes
do it a couple more
in.
times because you only did it twice there?
No.
But repeat 2.5 more times.
Okay.
One person comes in and says, "I can't believe you guys nailed those to the wall." And now then his story is
Who was the one person? What's initials?
MP.
Oh.
Which reported up to
CT,
Oh,
which
boy.
then
Which
ran.
then the town crier made his way through the,
sky is
streets.
falling.
Yes.
Oh
So
man!
we've spent for the all it's going to be is
And
you
hey,
replace
the
some
van wasn't returned
drywall.
to the right spot, and the megaphone's
Exactly.
busted.
So silly.
That's not funny.
No, it's funny that you know it just like that.
Matt,
you just
Matt
know
rips
it.
out so many PDYM lines.
You'd
could
think that he
teach
was
PDYM
listening
from
all
them.
those
I
years,
know,
but he
I
really
know.
was like,
Oh
He's-
my gosh.
Wow.
Well, it was
All
either
right.
freeze to death in the half-empty baptismal while I was hitting the PowerPoint button, or listen.
What church was that at? Years ago, I was
It
I was
was
doing a
back
PDYM conference, and
It
we
had
had
a rear projection screen.
and Matt was laying in a baptismal listening,
It had like 2 inches of water.
and he had to stay low because of the rear
That's-
projection.
it
And
was
he's
all-
laying
Oh
in the
my
baptismal,
goodness.
hitting the PowerPoint as I'm speaking.
Yeah.
Oh.
And of course, anytime I was like 3 nanoseconds too late. Oh, Matt, what are you doing? Sleeping?
Oh, that's
Thanks for the
strong,
support,
strong.
buddy.
Have we ever talked on the show about you carrying that portable
Oh,
computer?
no, it wasn't the projector.
Have
it
we
was-
It was
done
a
that?
computer
Oh.
back in the day. I've heard of this. This is a great story.
Yeah, years ago, we had just visited a church up north, Twin Lakes. It doesn't matter. Church was doing PowerPoint. I can't remember. And
Cutting
so
edge.
It was totally cutting edge
Yeah.
at the time because they were like
We
the
had
first
never
ones
seen
doing
it. We had never
Yeah.
seen PowerPoint ever.
And so,
We tell Rick about it.
yeah. So Rick comes by and is like, "Hey, what are you guys talking about?" And we're like, "Hey, we're talking about this new computer, PowerPoint." He's like, "Oh, let me go buy you a couple computers." So we jump in the car, and he whips out his own, just personal deal and makes it happen. But they were portable computers, which don't even really exist anymore. I mean, you'd think it's a laptop, but it's not a laptop. It's this huge case, which a lot of people would just call a hard drive, but it's totally
Yeah,
stupid.
it's a computer.
Yeah, it's a huge computer case with like a 12-inch LED or LCD screen on it, and it's just a single unit that just sucks, and it's like this big. You can't see, but whatever. So
You
we
can't
would
check it. So when we got on an airplane, you can't check it.
So it becomes.
And he tries, Matt, we try to fit it in overhead, and I'm so embarrassed. We're on this flight, and things won't shut, and the whole
He's like,
bit.
McGill, you got to travel with me just so you can bring this computer.
So one time
So
we're,
you can carry
we're
it?
walking through the airport, and I'm so embarrassed that Matt is like trying to do his luggage.
And we're like late for a flight,
Yeah,
trying
we're
to
just-
run, and I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
and he's
my
eating
god.
food, and it's dripping on his shirt. and-
Oh, it's horrible. It
It
was
was
horrible.
very funny.
It was one of those ones that as you held it, like I couldn't not hit each chair as I was walking down the aisle. So I'm like bumping into people.
Excuse me,
Oh,
pardon me,
gosh.
excuse me.
It was very embarrassing to be fat.
There could be a book someday just of my travel episodes with you.
The steak story is the best. I probably don't have time.
I don't think that's the best.
I
but
love
it's,
that
it's
story.
good. I think the time that you got a nickname was the best.
That's a good story too.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Hazelton?
Josh, how's it going?
It's going
Saw
great.
your Twitter today about you got like 3 talks you're prepping.
Yep, I've got a wedding to do this weekend, and I'm prepping a student leadership talk, and then we're doing the series finale of a series we're finishing up called Save the Planet. And
Dude, just
it's been
do the
really
same,
fun.
same talk for all 3. Bride of Christ.
I would love to. Bride of Christ. We're married to the planet. We're married to no.
Yeah.
Are you out of town this weekend? Are you
No,
traveling?
I know it's
Oh.
local. It's local. So yeah.
Yeah.
Whose
But the
wedding is
wedding's
it?
easy
Yeah.
Just a
to
guy in the
prep
church
'cause you're just
who
taking mine.
I had done some stuff on stage one time, and he said, "I want that guy to do my wedding." So
And you said yes.
I did. I didn't know I could say no.
You
But they're
can't.
really nice. They're
You
sweet
can't
people,
say
and it's
no.
gonna be
That's
fun.
good.
No, I will. Yeah, right. You're right. So, so yeah. So it's gonna be fun. So a wedding.
Where is it at?
Up in Orange at Jones Victorian Estate.
Nice.
Sounds
Wow.
Did
really
they go through the church premarital counseling?
They did. They had their little certificate. They're all
Oh,
set.
excellent.
Real nice, really nice couple. And they have some funny stories that'll make for a nice little wedding. And then, yeah. But student leadership talk. The notes are due today. I
Oh,
want to
they're
show
not
them the
really
wedding
due
today. And then the Save the Planet series is not going anywhere. So yeah.
That's
So
great.
prepping 3 talks at once. It's a good time.
It's good.
So is
Next
Al
week's gonna
Gore
be
coming
fun.
down for the Save the Planet series?
Is what?
Al Gore coming down to teach?
He
the
taught.
Save-
He
Tomorrow.
taught week 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
I channeled him through and used his
Nice.
voice. It was great. It was very boring, but it was great.
Jana, next week, a student leadership conference
Yes.
at
Very, very
Saddleback. We're
excited.
excited because we're doing it in our new building. About
We
600
are, yeah.
kids
Yeah.
coming to
fun.
it.
So
Very
fun to be in our
That's
building.
gonna be
How many you guys
amazing.
have? 600?
Yep.
Down from last year, huh?
Is it down from last year?
Just kidding. I just wanted to be negative.
He's for the
Looking at
church.
me daggers
He did
right
go big
now.
time,
I
didn't
just am like,
Yeah.
he? He went big time, and now he makes fun of us with our
gosh.
little
Hey,
little
if
events.
you don't turn a profit, you're going to have to cut some staff.
oh, don't you worry. Don't you
This is
worry.
just
With
one
staff
big riff
cutting, by
right
the way,
now.
can you start with Brazel?
He's not there.
Oh, you're
Brazel's stealing people from the church.
Yeah, really.
There's
I
a
walked in
new,
and
We
had
have a
to
new
wave
art
to him.
director at
cowboy
Simply
in
Youth
town.
Ministry that was taken from our college ministry at Saddleback. That
You
went
know
over
what?
well, Andy.
There might be different churches, but there's just one kingdom.
All right.
And a new warehouse guy taken from the church too. Man.
No, the new warehouse guy was fired from the church.
Oh, goodness.
And given second life.
Yeah. But
Googly. What was that? The thing on Google? The Second Life on Google?
Oh yeah, lively. 31 hours old.
Hey guys, I left a business meeting on Sunday where the treasurer revealed all the staff salaries publicly. Sort of weird, I thought.
Oh,
Boy.
that's tough.
But oh well. We have 3 staff, a church of 400, and our senior pastor's salary package is $90,000, and mine and the worship director's is $39,000.
It's about right.
Ours don't even include benefits. I feel pretty slighted. Do I have the right to be frustrated, or is this just part of the gig? Thanks for any input.
Wow.
Now, do I have the right
It's
to
too
be
bad you
frustrated?
know. You have too much
Yeah, because
information.
did you feel that way? Were you frustrated before knowing all of that?
If you got
Yeah,
hired for
this
that
is-
amount,
No
Is that
matter how.
Matthew 25?
yep.
Oh, you guys.
No,
That
we're
is-
going straight to the
that
Bible on this one.
parable is about salvation. It's not about how to run a
Salary.
business.
It's not about salary. It's about
Yeah.
salary.
I didn't say it was about how to run business, but isn't it where Jesus pays, or the story pays the Jesus doesn't
Yeah,
pay him?
denarius. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, one works all day and gets paid
Yeah.
a denarius. One works half the day. One works. But that's about salvation. That's not about.
So there's no principle there where that you can apply.
I
to
think that
real
there
life
might
and
be a
salary?
principle, but you have to say, hey, there might be a principle. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's
Fair
pretty
enough.
much what I just said.
Well,
Here's the deal. You're in an awkward position.
okay, that's good.
There's no way to get this out of your head. You got it in your mind now. It's probably stuck in your craw a little bit. You're in an awkward position.
Yeah, where exactly is your
Stuck
I
in
don't
your
know.
what?
Stuck in your craw.
It is
Everyone,
in your
everyone
craw.
outside of California.
Your
understands.
craw is in the back right part of your jaw.
That's correct.
All right.
Okay.
So you're in a tough spot.
Unless
Okay,
you're
well,
But the
let's-
answer, what this
how
question
about
is,
Jana
can
talks
You're in a
about
tough
this?
Yeah.
spot.
How about Jan talks about this? Because I just got Jana a raise, but
Maybe.
Jana runs the church. Jana runs the
Maybe.
church,
No.
and other people make more than her.
No.
So Jana, how do you deal with that bitterness?
No, I think, I mean, no, I don't have bitterness. Don't say
Good
that.
That's a good
I don't have bitterness. I think you gotta go, what, were you unsatisfied before knowing this? Or now are you like, now you're questioning it? Because that a little bit is like, where is your heart? And partly going, are you getting, do you really want that responsibility and want to make that much money? Because that's a different responsibility than where you're at,
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
So she's saying she doesn't want the responsibility.
I would
No,
say
Jana's taken her life as she's taken the responsibility and not the increase in pay.
Hey,
So that's why I would just assume that she would be bitter, since I know you two guys have taken on additional responsibility.
the only
not
one,
gotten
the only
increased
one at
pay
this table who's
and
been
very
overpaid
bitter.
is wearing a black T-shirt.
Wait, what happened
When you
here?
first,
What?
when you
Wait,
first,
I'm the only one wearing
that was just when you first.
I know.
That was just when you first came on.
What did I
we
say?
had PD. No, you didn't say anything.
Oh, what did I do?
I said the only person at this table who was overpaid is the person wearing a black shirt.
That's
that was
funny.
when you came on. I'm not saying right now.
Yes.
I'm saying when
Well,
you came
here's
on.
the deal.
But now he's underpaid,
Now
so
I'm
he's
underpaid,
making
so-
up for it.
Are you happy now?
I'm happy now. I'm happy now.
Here's the deal. You shouldn't say anything. Not right now.
I
There is
agree.
no way you're going to handle this right for a month.
Oh, this guy.
Shut
Yeah, you
your
can't say.
mouth.
I
Do
agree.
not say a word. You
I
may
agree with
talk
that,
to your
of,
husband,
like-
talk to your wife, whatever. That's probably it for a while. Because there's no way this is going to end right with you. No way. 90 to 39. You just need to just take a big breather and step away from this, because there's no way you're going to handle it right now.
Okay, but I agree with you. But let's go with this. Don't you think that a senior pastor is going to make twice as much?
Well, yeah, and think
Well, I don't know.
about
Can you put a number to it? Twice as much? Is that?
A
Well, this is
significant
actually
amount, a
more than
significant
twice
amount
as much,
more,
but-
yes.
Yeah, I mean, just the
Absolutely.
responsibility.
The
of the whole
responsibility,
church
though,
and-
is just so different. To
Yeah.
close your eyes at night and to live with one set of responsibility and the other responsibility is totally different.
And
But is it that much of a difference?
I would say it's 60-40.
Well, we don't.
least.
But it's not. I mean, it's not just responsibilities as far as like the.
Josh speaks to more people than the senior pastor does.
Yeah, how come
Huh?
I'm not making 90?
What do you mean, John? Then that
Yeah.
senior pastor?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
is the
but
thing
then-
about Saddleback. Saddleback,
can't.
is, we pay terrible. But
I
that's
would
okay. That's a whole
argue
other
that
issue.
I would argue that all churches do, and I would argue that youth pastors are on the terrible end of the terrible pay scale.
Yes.
So
Leadership Network is collecting doing a survey on a bunch
And
of
youth
salary
worker
stuff.
does it once a year, too.
Yeah.
That group does.
Isn't that?
yeah, group
Oh.
does.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry.
No, I would
enemy.
say you are always going to be underpaid compared if you're comparing yourself to a senior pastor, the CEO to a middle manager. You should expect to be the ratio might be a little further off than I would have expected.
Yeah, it's a tough thing. But to me, is it because was part of that question? When is it time to move on?
No, he
Was
just
that a
says, "Do
different
I have
one?
the right to be?"
Oh,
But you
to
know
be
what? I
bummed?
think that there's
Oh,
some
you never have the right to feel sorry for yourself.
different than just your question. I think there's some learning in there as far as when
Yeah.
you're responsible for money and salaries and how you handle that, and obviously don't
Yeah.
be the treasurer and come and you know
Yeah,
you're
just think about Jesus in the garden and then hanging on the cross, and you should be cool.
Next
Yeah,
question.
I don't
Anybody?
like people to know salary because there's
That's a bummer.
well, yeah, just as
Man.
depending to get Josh out here, for example, we could have never got Josh out here to work at the church. But when Purpose Driven was alive, we got him to work at Purpose Driven to run PDYM. They didn't have the same.
Josh is pretty desperate. We could have gotten him out here.
I don't think so.
Josh,
Not to live in Southern
Wait.
California.
Josh showed up to the PDYM meeting and said, "I just quit my job and I'm hoping you guys hire me." Remember this?
I don't, but I probably
In the
did.
new children's building. We were in the new children's building.
At the
Chris Abeta was there.
Oh,
That was our first round
PDYM
table.
gathering, right?
It wasn't a gathering.
that was in between,
Hadn't we already hired you?
pretty much.
And aren't we about to hit?
Well,
five?
there's, you know what? Here's
Just
the problem,
started
though.
it
There's
this
a
week.
difference between the conversations that were
Yeah,
happening
yeah,
here
yeah.
behind the scenes and the information that we had.
Here's the deal. I just started my 5th year last week.
It's Saddleback.
That's
fun.
awesome. And
How do you
for
guys?
one-
How do you three feel that Brazelton was in your youth groups and makes more than All of you guys running Simply.
Freaking, yeah. That's
Huh?
probably not. That's probably not too far from the truth.
No, it is the truth.
Here it is. Here's
I'm gonna quit right now. Oh wait a minute.
You-
This is on the cross.
Oh my goodness.
You had opportunities to work at Simply if you wanted to. You could have run Simply at some point.
Not anymore.
Yeah, audio would have been better.
You
Not
know,
sure
I
we'd
just-
have any sales.
The world, yeah.
We would have etten it away, but
We would have had content.
We would have had lunch.
we definitely would have had lunch. Thank you.
That's right.
Salary's a funny thing.
It is
Cost
a
of
funny
living
thing.
is going through the roof.
That's right.
Is it?
I
Oh,
just,
gas
does-
is high.
Andy, I am loving this moment right now.
Is
Just
he
think-
embarrassed?
No, I
Just
don't think
thinking
he's
about Andy
embarrassed that
making more
Andy's
than the
making
three
more
of
than
us.
you three.
And what the thing?
Yeah, well, it's a good thing,
Andy's
though.
like, please don't hit
There's
me
so
after
many
this.
more things in life to be happy about than how much you make.
You are a happier person than Andy anyway.
That's true. You make less,
Well,
but
at
you
least
are
I'm
a,
somewhat social, that's for sure.
He
Brazel's
stays out
your
past
troglodyte.
dark.
you're awake. You're awake longer in the day as well.
Yeah.
Hey, just to hear his cackle. Remember, we
He's-
were all together on the 4th of July. We had a party at the Fields house. Everybody wouldn't hear. Oh wait, Andy wasn't.
Oh wait, he's already
Andy
already
wasn't
asleep. Oh.
Yeah.
Nadim wasn't there.
No, Nadim wasn't invited.
But just
Sorry, Nadim.
What's happening?
look at vein in Andy's forehead.
No, he could have been invited because
But
it was
the good
the
news
day
is-
before and spontaneous. We just
Don't worry,
Yeah,
Nadim.
Nadim doesn't have email, I
Don't
guess.
worry.
Don't worry, Nadim makes more money than us too, so it's no big
Yeah.
deal.
You know what I love too? The thing that's funny about this place making more money is that this place is the shadow. Like, this is the shadow
Ooh.
cast by the ministry at Saddleback, and I just love it. I mean, but it's the way the world works.
I don't know if that's really true. This is not the shadow.
You would say this
Yeah.
is the stars or the moon.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I'd say this was the.
Well,
This has become a little different. This was
Originally,
this was the outlet of.
Yeah.
It's grown into its own.
Yeah.
Now it's making its own shadow.
Anyway, on the 4th of July, the morning on the 4th of July,
in and of itself,
I
the
somehow-
substance comes
Andy,
from
how much do you make?
I
Just kidding.
somehow discovered more than you.
I know. I don't even need to know.
Now you know how I felt when you first came on.
Josh made more than Matt
This is your
and
best
I.
show ever.
Here's a guy
I'm
that's
declaring
brought
it
on to
now.
run conferences that Jana and I and Doug created.
I love it.
That was
Well, he wasn't making more than me.
But think about what you paid for your house compared to someone coming in later.
think about it.
Yeah, just think about it.
Do you even know what you paid for your house?
No.
Do you even know what your mother-in-law paid for your house?
There's no way anyone
I,
is listening
I have a
anymore.
mortgage just like you guys.
There's
I have
no
to pay
way.
$200 a month.
To my mother-in-law.
$200 a month for $1 billion.
Okay, so
house.
anyway, on the 4th of July, I'm trying to catch up on emails or something, and I run across something that links me to sarcastic monkeys,
Oh,
which I have heard you
yes.
talk about
Yeah.
before, but I'd never paid attention to it. And I read,
Small wonder.
I got caught up in it. I read probably for an hour.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Reading-
An hour?
Yes, I kept going. I go, okay, I'm going to read one more episode review, and I just kept going. They are very funny.
Very fun.
I
They're-
need to go see it. I need to read them.
Yeah,
The
they're
internet's everywhere, so you don't have to go anywhere.
No, I meant
Right
go
on your
read
phone.
it. Is what I meant.
For those that don't know, which I didn't know, even though Josh knew, and I saw Andy had made some comments on it, but for some
I made a
reason
couple
I never
comments.
got a link.
Not many.
They're not mean. I mean,
No.
they obviously take shots at us,
Yeah,
but
they feel like someone
Well,
around
you
the table.
guys, there's
who's,
no shots to take at me, really.
yes.
Well, the last one was pretty good. Oh wait, you weren't on the show that week.
Oh, that's
yeah.
right.
Are they caught up?
No.
So what they do is they
just
listen
kidding,
to
by
the
the way.
show and then they write a review of it. And I don't know if it's a they or a one guy
It's
or
two
what.
dudes.
Or if it's Andy, he's has a lot of free time.
Anyway, no,
rolling
it's,
around in
it's
money.
not
I
Andy.
wish I was that.
It's not
Rolling
Andy.
around.
It's not. I can
Yeah.
tell it's not Andy because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
very clever humor.
Brazel's more like mountain bike humor.
Hey guys, I was out in my
Little
Second
dirt.
gear
I was
instead
in
of
my
third.
I was in my Outback the other day.
Hey, new blog post: spikes or no spikes?
Yeah.
I shaved my legs.
Oh God.
Outsideallday.com.
New blog post. I pulled a wheelie. Anyway,
Seriously, can you do a
sarcastic
wheelie on your
monkeys.
bike?
It's sarcasticmonkey.wordpress.com. Very funny little website, kind of like a review
But
of
they're
our
not
But is it
revealing who
their
they
whole
are.
thing is us?
No,
It's-
they used to reveal who they were.
No, they never
No,
have.
they never have.
Oh, it's a guy named Ryan and a guy named Bob.
Yep, that's it.
Wait,
It's a
Really?
blog only about us, Sarcastic Monkeys. Just type Sarcastic Monkeys into Google. First thing that comes out.
Have you heard of Google? It's a search engine.
Yeah.
is it on the internet?
You have to go to the web to find it.
Save the planet. Go to blackhole.com.
All right, this is from Mark Cox,
Black
Indian Springs Baptist Church. I have been feeling a conviction that I should be spending more time training, helping, equipping youth workers outside of my own sphere of influence. This is a first for me, especially because I don't consider myself to be someone who is especially astute or one that has that much experience. However, I feel like God has been doing this inside of me, so I know that
makes them like most trainers. Sorry.
I love it that when you make yourself laugh. You
Yeah,
get that little,
he was laughing well before
Wait,
that
he
came
laughs
out,
before
too.
he tells
Yeah,
us.
Sorry,
you
I'm
get a big
sorry.
oxygen
You know
suck.
what?
And
Mixed in with saliva.
I'm sorry. I had committed to you that I wouldn't interrupt you while you were reading, and I'd
Yeah.
like to apologize for the second time in my life.
What was the first
to
one
me,
for?
or just
Just to the world.
To the
And
listener.
to you,
So,
and
your
to
second
you
apology
personally.
ever?
And to the 2.3 billion listeners.
so I know that half of your time is spent training and helping youth workers, and I guess I just want to know where that all started. I know it's on Rick's heart, and maybe that was transferred to you or was something on yours too. Also, how did you get started doing that, and what would you recommend for a schmo like me? Thanks again. Look forward to the podcast every week. Don't change a thing.
Oof.
Hmm.
We should change the format a little bit. This is crazy today.
Will it burn?
This is great today.
This is crazy. So fun. So
I
fun.
know. I
I
know.
think
It's good to be
part of it
together.
is we just have not been together in so long. We're
Yeah.
just almost just hanging out.
Yes.
But, so how'd you get started? That's a good question. We haven't had anything
Dude,
like that
elements
before.
of a healthy youth ministry.
Well, this is what would be one I normally would not have read on the
Yeah.
show, but since
I printed them out so far in advance. I don't know why.
Minutes.
No,
That's
what's
a
your
good
answer
one.
though?
This is a good question.
It's still a good
Yeah,
question.
why
and a
would-
little bit
Tell
of
Jack,
history as
tell-
well.
it feels
You-
a little
you-
too insider, not insider. It feels like too narrowly focused of a question that it's just for. But my story is that when I proposed to Kathy, I remember asking permission from Jack, and he said, "What are you gonna do after you're a youth pastor?" And I said, "I don't know if there's gonna be an after. I mean, I'm 19 years old or 20 years old."
Yeah.
I said, "You know, I think that
I'm going to
I'll-
start a company that employs you.
Where
And
someday a kid
pays.
from the youth group will make more than my friends."
You're not even the friends. You're the Which is more valuable, a good salary or friendship with Doug?
You don't need to
It's really a
answer that.
toss-up, actually.
Remember who you're talking to. You're talking to Kathy.
You're talking to
You're talking to
Razel
Matt.
dollars.
Should be different. Appraisal dollars.
All right, here we go. So you went to Jack.
So I just
pain
knew
when you
from
laugh.
I knew from early
No,
on
but
that
what did you tell Jack?
I told him that I'm going to train youth workers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
There
Kind of
you
a
go.
touching story.
So you
right?
said
is,
when
it's
I'm done being a
beautiful.
youth pastor, or you
no,
said
it
I'm
wasn't
not
a
going to be
done.
done.
I just
I'm
see
just going to do
myself.
this at the
I
same
see
time.
myself training. Yeah, I didn't have a career path or anything like that.
Don't you
but
think there's a
the
lot of
first-
opportunities,
The
though?
first pastor I worked for, he was great at encouraging me to whatever I did at the church to share with other people. Kind of like your blog. I mean, obviously back
Yeah.
in the day,
Back before they had the internet.
before Al Gore invented it, we didn't have that type of outlet.
Right.
But you kind of do that with stuff.
Totally.
You take an outline from the weekend and put it on the
Totally.
on the website, and whether it's good or not.
Absolutely. It's going to be up there. You're going to pay me the same
That's
whether it's
funny.
average or great, so I'll give you just enough.
So
Yeah.
he asked a question like, "Where do you start? Where would you start?"
I just had a weird idea, which doesn't mean it's a good idea because I haven't really thought this through.
Matt Unfiltered, here we go.
No, first time.
Never
No,
heard
this
before.
is I'm going to put this. This is a weird idea, but I'm not too embarrassed to say it. If it's bad, I get canned. I don't care. But I mean, one
the
idea is if
future.
you really want to do something more than doing a blog and posting and becoming an internet personality, which is whatever. I mean,
Is that
you
what you are an internet
I guess.
personality.
I
Wait,
just
can we
learned
just
this
tell
right
him
now.
where your website is ranked? I just learned this
More
last
than
night.
dodgeball.com is where it's located. Oh,
No.
you mean theforce.net?
Yes.
Theforce.net is the 17th, Google's number 1, number 2 is Yahoo, blah, blah, blah. 17,536, my website, theforce.net.
That's amazing.
17,000.
17,000 in the world of all websites in the
Oh, when you
So
first
you're
started,
still
you
cranking
said,
in the
Oh,
you
we're
door.
at
said
the top.
17. and you stopped, and then you went back to tell it. I thought 17. So I was thinking that's really
Oh,
good.
goodness.
No, but
Yeah,
think
and
about
now,
17 would be.
well, but now when you say 17,000, to me it's not as impressive.
But
as
think about this:
No,
if
that
I was
isn't-
the
I think that
if
is
I was
so.
the 17,000th richest person in the world, you'd be blown away by it.
Andy is.
Well, Andy, you're right. I'm actually in the bottom
That's
third.
funny.
But anyhow, there you go.
Fun. Okay.
End of story.
But
It's
make,
more than
here's what I'm
dodgeball.
going to say. It's weird.
998,500 and something. So
Yeah.
we just cracked 1 million.
Yeah.
I'm the
What's,
top
Ho-
million.
what's
out there.
Hoaxma.com?
That's awesome.
I didn't check.
Does-
Sardi is 15 million. I don't know.
15 million.
The 15 millionth most popular website in the world is sardidesign.com.
Wow, Jana! Congratulations for your husband.
Jenna has done
Simply Youth
nothing.
Ministry is, I forget, but I looked it up. Yeah,
200,000?
it's pretty good. You go to Alexa,
So
alexa.com.
Simply Youth Ministry blows Josh's away.
Yeah.
Awesome.
More than dodgeball.
Not for long.
Not.
Not for long, but yeah. When I got married, I talked to my father-in-law and I said, someday.
One day,
Like about you.
my
What do you
blog-
want to do with your life? Blog.
I want to blog. I don't care about what.
There's this thing called the internet, and I want to blog on
I
it.
was Southern then, apparently, too.
Is that a Southern voice?
I don't know
That's
what
my
it
first voice. I like that.
Well, in this, a couple days ago, I was reading Group Magazine, and like the front page, it has a thing from Josh, and it says the ever popular
Wow.
more than
He's a
dodgeball.
blog personality.
So I should get, maybe I can
He-
make some money that way. Since the
I
church
thought
isn't
you already
gonna pay
did.
my-
We've already talked about
Okay,
this. You
so
do make-
I'm kidding.
Okay, thinking
But
of Survivor,
printing it in
tape
magazine.
yourself teaching something and send it to some of these places that do, like you special user group or whatever like that do training, and say, hey, let me do a workshop my first year for free, and if it's good, bring me on the next year.
Or there's
Well-
local things too. Your
Yeah,
local
I don't know. I
network.
mean, like I said, that's kind of a weird
you
idea.
have conferences
I
and
just-
conventions.
I don't
There's
know,
always small
yeah.
time things to let you get your feet wet and make sure you have the skills necessary
Yeah.
to pull it off, and the credibility to pull it off. But yeah,
Well, and
Start
depending
small.
on the scale
And
that
don't
you
tell
want to
people
do it
you
on,
don't know anything, by the way.
and if you're purpose driven, but being a mentor in your area would be helpful
A
and a
state
good place.
mentor?
Yeah,
Oh,
would be a
very
good
nice.
place. to s-
PDYMcommunity.com.
Ministry.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, so just go ahead and
Well,
fit into
I
our
think-
cookie cutter approach.
I
Adam
think one of
filtered
the
everybody.
one of the things for Mark and anybody else is that motive is such a big part of this that a lot of times over the years I've got people saying, how do I become publisher, how do I become this, or how do I become that, and you can just kind of smell the motive on there.
Yeah, I was just thinking about one of those conversations I had last night.
Well, to have the
Oh.
motive of really wanting to help, what about just in your network, your youth ministry network, and just say, hey, why don't you come train my volunteers and I'll go train your volunteers, and just, begin to work with some of the material, because when you take your material and you take it into another setting, you actually can really find out what you
agree.
can bomb easy, but sometimes you can feel like you're a terrible communicator in front of your own setting, and then you go somewhere else that isn't used to you, and they go, oh gosh, that was really good, or that was really fresh. You might find more affirmation there.
Well,
But-
Prophet had no
tweak
honor
your
in his
talk
own
and-
hometown.
Tweak your talk, make it better, make it more general and not as specific for your your volunteers or your student ministry.
Your
Yeah.
setting.
Yeah.
But we've talked about this before on the show, that it's not bad to have dreams of having an influence in Andy.
It's just bad to watch.
How's
Andy
that
just wrote
yellow?
on the
How's that
whiteboard.
yellow marker up there?
That's all I got, guys.
Is
I
either
was
that or
going to say,
pen.
you make more than these guys, but in the intelligence level,
Seriously.
It's all
they can't
show me the money.
see that. But Andy on the right
Your radio
whiteboard,
keratotomy is also failing too.
it says minutes left
I can read
on
it
the
perfectly.
whiteboard, and then he wrote in yellow whatever it is, and I have no
I can
idea.
totally
Yeah,
read it.
14.
You're colorblind, dude.
Yeah.
20.
You're the one who always says, "Oh, the website, you can't read it."
Could you read that?
Which website?
Right up here.
Yeah.
The
You
yellow?
can read
read
any
clearly?
website.
No, I would much prefer to
doesn't
wear,
even
use
need a
any other
computer.
color in the world.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah,
that's hard
it's
to see.
definitely harder
But-
to see, but when you're not old and blind.
Hey, speaking of that,
blind.
should we talk about Doug's new facial hair?
Oh.
Is this new?
It looks sharp.
Really?
I
It's
like
got a
it.
lot of gray in it.
It
I
just
don't know
hasn't
if I
been
like it or
dyed
not.
this time. That was a lot funnier than I thought it was going to be.
Wow.
This
I think it
payoff
looks
is
sharp.
pretty
I
good
think
on
it's a good
that.
It's a little
Yeah?
burny.
I think goatees look really sharp.
Yeah. Well, now the goatees are out. I'm growing mine
You're
back.
bringing it back. You're
Yeah.
early. You're early on the next
Andy,
cycle.
how about a poll on the
Yes.
poll on the
Yeah.
live audience?
That's a
Can
fair
they see it?
question.
Just kidding.
I used the term
what-
gerbil slayer in my message this past weekend.
Nice.
I thought you'd be happy about that. I meant to tell
My
you.
new
I
new
used
character
Gerbil Slayer in a
your
book.
I know.
You
That
did.
was awesome. My new character name
Oh,
in
World of Warcraft.
no Age of Conan
Mm-hmm.
is Love Handles. For some
Why?
reason, it wouldn't let me take Gerbil Slayer.
So
Someone
you,
else
you
already
thought,
had
the
it.
second best one will be love handles.
Yeah.
Let's see. What could my username be?
Speaking of
Handles.
love handles, when you and I did the show by ourselves, you
Yes.
admitted that for the first time you kind of thought you were fat.
Oh,
Speaking of love handles, you've been walking like 5 miles.
How's that going?
it's going good.
Yeah.
That week was a good.
I had
week.
1 week. I had 1 week where my back was super sore. Slept on a bed that was like soft, and that was a drag.
Where was
But
that?
I was trying to be diplomatic. What?
Okay.
Goodness gracious!
I don't get it.
He went to
but-
his friend's trailer down in.
Oh yeah, I get it.
Oh god, the bed was softer than sponge cake, and it was great
Softer than
sleeping.
How did you
Sponge
stay on that bed? That is.
I pretty
soft.
much made me sleep on the floor.
Yes, you. It
I mean,
would
she's
just.
pregnant, but still. No, but for the last 4 weeks, it's 5 weeks now. I've been like 3 times a week. I haven't gotten
Have you
into a
lost any
group-
weight at all?
6 pounds.
That's
which,
awesome, man.
That's
you
great.
can
That's
tell it's
good.
pretty
In
good.
5
It's pretty
weeks?
good.
I think our buddy. I'm telling you, I
That's
think our
good.
buddy Matthew McNutt.
Oh,
who-
we're already
who
in
won?
contact.
Who won The Biggest Loser? Something. Didn't he win something?
He was on The Biggest Loser.
He was on The Biggest Loser.
Yeah.
But when you go on his website and see the before and after,
It's pretty
photos,
incredible.
He lost like 200 pounds.
He
Didn't
won in the game of life.
He looks great.
He also makes more than you, by the way. Just thought I should throw that out there.
Who doesn't?
Hey, you know what? That could increase your honorariums.
From 0 to 3.
All the speaking gigs that he
Oh,
goes out
gosh.
on.
Hey, thanks for asking me to speak at the student leader conference.
Well,
Speaking of that,
You know what, Matt?
that's great.
we couldn't afford you, so.
Based on evaluations from last year,
Did I even do it last year?
we can't remember.
Exactly.
That's funny. You've been
Exactly.
hearing that for so many years, it was easier for you to say that back.
Your opinions, wisdom.
Oh.
We just decided
Unfiltered.
Knowledge.
that. Oh.
This is
Oh,
from
man.
Andrew.
Are we even talking questions today?
No.
Yes, we are. Andrew Rothaker. It would have been nice to talk questions if I had some printed out.
Yeah.
I should show you the text
You
I
went
sent
from
Josh.
like 5 stacks of questions to now.
I
Well-
thought you wanted a couple supplementary to all that you had. I really did. I
Well,
thought you
no,
wanted a
here-
couple
here was the
extras, and I
deal.
was like,
I
oh, he'll be
couldn't-
okay.
I couldn't this morning when I realized that the
different every
podcast
time we
was
do this.
today and not tomorrow because Matt changes his opinions all the time of when he can meet with us. I just left the podcast emails at my
hate my
house,
life right
so
now.
I was out prepping because I'm speaking on the Nicene Creed next week and
Oh,
the Heidelberg
wow.
Catechism in 2
Whoa.
weeks. So I was out.
You don't have to
prepping.
call it that, do you?
I have a.
You're speaking on truth. You don't have to call it that.
You know what? Today at 4:00, I have a meeting with Rick Warren and
Our senior pastor,
Tom Holliday.
our second senior pastor.
Yes.
Don't want to be insider guys, so
Yeah.
thanks for the explanation.
And the three of us are going to talk about this preaching series. But
It's
I've been
crazy they
given,
wouldn't invite me to that.
I've been given the Nicene
you
Creed.
have so much time.
They wanted to free you up so you could prep for the student leadership conference. So anyway,
I wanted to free me up so I could walk.
I'm prepping, and I texted Josh and said, "Can you print some podcast emails from Podcast at Simple Youth Ministry if you have a question
Yeah.
next week when we get to it? Will we do one next week with the student leadership
No.
conference? No.
Oh, we could do a live one.
No.
Why not?
We have a.
You
We
got
don't
so
have a
much.
lot of time slots.
Okay.
You
Oh
think
my
we
gosh!
do?
Just
No.
cut something that sucks. I'll find something.
As long as it's after the time that I speak.
No, we already
Um,
cut you.
We can.
As soon as
That
I
was
said
like,
that, I was
here,
like,
here, hit it,
oh,
hit
here
me.
comes some
Hit the
soft
ball.
angel food cake.
Smack. Well, the text said, "Can you print out 4 or 5 of them?" So I
Yeah.
figured, okay, he's got the stack. He just wants some fresh ones
Yeah, you
Oh.
don't figure.
in the mix.
And so then what'd you
No.
So then on the way here,
you forgot?
I looked. I was like, all right, what texts have I not? Because I marked them as unread.
Because you can't talk on your phone anymore, but you're driving.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
text
'cause
on
in-
your phone.
No, because
California,
you
it's
texted
illegal.
back and you said K.
Right. But
Oh.
then I marked it as unread so that
Okay.
I wouldn't forget before I left. And then I jumped out of a meeting,
This
jumped
is
in my
getting
car,
boring.
and
I'm
drove
gonna
here.
check my emails.
Okay.
So I was bummed. So sorry.
No, that's right.
Sorry about having very average questions like this one.
No, this is a decent question. Andrew Rothaker from Crossover Student Ministries, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, just 20 minutes from Intercourse, Pennsylvania, says,
Write that in his.
yeah, he
Is
wrote
that a
there right
sign
there.
up?
There it is.
Nice.
Been
Remember
there.
there's the song we had?
Yeah,
Back when I was doing audio, I could have played that.
yeah.
Now that we got
Mads, you got that one queued up?
Back when we had good audio,
Back when we had great audio.
like in episode 1 through 6.
0 through 6.
He's basically saying, is this a new trend? He's noticed that things are called student ministries versus youth group. And he said that they have changed their terminology in an attempt to change the mindset from an inward focus to an outward focus. I'm going to my youth group, but you can't say I'm going to my student ministry. Well, you could, but it sounds weird. Says maybe this
only
isn't a
sounds weird.
newer trend. I'm just incredibly behind the times. But either way, I welcome your comments. It's not a newer trend. About 12 years ago, Bobo Shears wrote a book called
Something.
Student Ministries. Yeah, building a thriving. Prevailing. No, it was student. Yeah,
Oh.
Student Ministries. But it was called Student Ministries. And Willow has done for years the whole thing about they don't call it a youth group
Yeah.
because
There's only 10
it's
minutes
inward
left.
focused. Can you read that?
Yep.
I can't read the one.
So that's
now.
not a
Not a new term.
new term.
Not a term.
Yeah.
So
All
it's a
right.
good term, and I like that.
Hey,
I
we're
like
at
that
we're at
focus
45 minutes.
'Kay.
And I didn't really read these questions.
I'll read it quick and see if it's good.
No, there's a couple that say don't read my name, and there are some long ones. This is one from Ken Leslie, who we could probably feel safe to read because Ken is a PDYM
shot.
state
Is that the guy
mentor.
that does the games one every year?
No.
Les Christie.
Close.
You're the worst with like.
Ken Leslie, Les Christie.
Oh.
Close.
But Ken said,
You okay?
you know, one of the
It's
things
funny.
that we talk about every
Yeah.
once in a while is we'll
Connection.
say when we're doing the podcast, let's be careful not to say numbers and things like that because people can't always relate.
1,000 minutes. That's a number.
He says, you caused me to sin. First, you get a free iPod just after my iPod died.
Oh.
Next, you're talking about having so many volunteers you haven't met them all yet. Remember that?
Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, that was Josh. But that's just because Josh doesn't have good people skills.
Yeah,
he hasn't got around to the sixth.
People drain me.
Almost as much as a to-do list.
Yeah,
does.
really.
Oh, you should pay me more if you're going to expect me to get stuff done.
Then finally, you talk
That's
about
what Pringles
texting
would
for
say.
20 minutes. I love the idea of communicating, but I am in communication nightmare. I have 10% of my students who text, 40% who use email, 30% who use MySpace exclusively, 10% on Facebook, a couple of kids who do not have a cell phone. Yep, that's right, all you Orange County Richies. Some students don't have cell phones. My daughter doesn't have a cell phone.
None of my kids do. They're all
They're
6
like
and under.
6,
but
yeah.
But
They have
Tori
until their
has one.
7th birthday.
Yeah, but my 8th grade daughter doesn't.
And does she want one?
Sounds to me like
she's
paper.
been wanting
she-
one for
and
2
you're-
years.
What's your?
Holding out till high school.
So she
That's
has to be in
good.
high school.
Yeah.
Freshman you get it fall.
8th grade graduation present.
So you don't want to talk to people and connect?
No, I don't. I want her to have a terrible junior high.
Do
You're
all
well
of her
on
friends
your way.
have?
Yes, every one of them.
I heard you guys had a video game system at your house the other night.
Oh.
Rock Band or
Yeah.
what? Yeah.
What's that? How
We-
did you let that in the doors? That
No,
damn pit
we
of
just
Satan
don't. We just don't
through
own
the
them.
doors?
We just don't own them. We allow them to come in and play and everything.
How are your kids going to learn from that hypocrisy?
No, there's
Just
So
kidding,
long story
just
so
short.
do you own when you take your kids to the water park? Do you own it or do you just use it?
Well, I never said don't go. No, I'm totally joking, by the way.
Okay, it's just not good logic.
It was.
You
It was
must
supposed to
be-
be a good joke.
You
That's
must
all
be
it
a
was.
musician.
Oh.
I have to remember who needs to be called, who needs to be emailed, who needs a
Exactly.
MySpace comment, who needs a letter in the mail. Talk about unsimple. Way too irrelevant to us. Way to be irrelevant to us, little guys. But still, I listen for next week. Ken, you're a good man. You are loved, as is everyone who
Just
listens.
not very much.
No.
Can't really love somebody if you don't know them.
Josh, morethandodgeball.com.
Yeah.
Jana, Sardi Design. Matt McGill.
We're gonna end on
himself.
that.
What's that?
Hawkma.
Himself? Hokma?
Hawkma.
Yeah, I wonder how many people go to my site. It's at least 12 people a day.
Which puts you in the top 20 million.
You know what? If you kept up with your blogging that we were going to do, we did that thing much better than More Than Dodgeball.
I don't have any questions. Just kidding.
Because Josh
Well,
won't print out.
Answer
any way you want.
Ken's right there. So wait, so what's the answer to Ken? Sorry for bumming you out. I'm an idiot. But what's the answer?
He didn't ask you a
what was
question.
his
Yeah, he did. He said
Well,
he's got
it's
people
like-
all over the place. He's
Yeah,
got
bummer.
some text, some phone, some MySpace.
You
What do
live
you
in
do?
Orange County.
Print.
Yeah,
Use
get-
print
get-
pieces.
you
Everyone
can-
has a home phone. Call their home
He
phone.
wasn't asking a question. He was complaining.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
that's
That was a
still.
question.
Yeah.
I think he was dogging
Hey,
me
let's
a little
just
bit. Sorry, Ken.
let's know that Andy hasn't paid up his bet on my Twitter, which I've been a faithful Twitterer for now.
Yeah.
And you're wealthy, so
Leslie,
why
it's
haven't you
still only
paid?
10 minutes to do what he wanted to do. If he wanted to hit all 3 of those groups, it's still a 12-minute.
Yeah, he was complaining. He wasn't asking a question.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah. I
Well,
just
why are you
said that to
complaining over
Josh.
12 minutes of work?
I don't know, Andy. Anything we need to
Sounds
know?
like
All
Jana.
Access, is that out yet? The new one.
Yeah, the new quarter just hit.
The new quarter of All Access just hit,
Yep.
so they get a
Good
quarter's
courses.
worth of curriculum and
Small group stuff,
and
and media.
sermons and media and
Insider stuff.
insider stuff. So this podcast is brought to you by
Simply All
Simply
All
Access.
Access.
And you can get
There
all
it
that
is.
stuff for free at hokewood.com.
Enjoy.
What if it was true?
You
Little
just got
back-
you
what
just
about a
got
little
14
back-
bits
When
Door
will
right
this
there.
when will this podcast be put up?
Probably tomorrow now.
Probably tomorrow. So a Thursday podcast.
Thursday night.
Wow, that could be
Wow.
early. So if you're listening and you're at a PDYM student leadership next week,
See you there.
See you there.
Matt
come
won't
say
see you
hi.
there, but we'll see
Matt
you there.
won't.
Come say hi.
Goodbye.
I'm going to come and sell hot dogs or something.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Hey, we need hot dogs.
It's got just enough youth ministry so that you don't feel guilty listening.